Hey guys, Simon here. Today, let me start my video with a real story. Now, there's a Chinese celebrity called Dong Jing, who is probably one of the most famous TV hostess in China. Now, early last year, she was on a public event, probably called something like the first day of the school. So basically, it's a patriotic event for students. So on that event, she told the young students that they should protect the national flag, just like the way they are protecting their own lives, which you may find a little bit ridiculous because a national flag is just a flag, right? When a flag got damaged or lost, we can just buy another one. But if we lost our life, there's no way for us to replace it with a new one. There will be the end. So if there are some fellow Chinese watching this video, please remember, if you ever spot a national flag in a river or on a cliff, don't risk your life and try to save it, okay? Your life is way more valuable. And if someone says you should save it, tell them to do it themselves, okay? And if you really feel terrible, later you can always buy another one from Taobao. It probably only costs you 20 kuai, 30 kuai, right? So anyway, I think the national flag is just a reference which represent our country. What Dong Jing really mean is that we should love our country, protect the country just like we are protecting our own lives. I mean, there's nothing wrong to teach students to, love their own country, right? I think every country will have this kind of patriotic education. But I think there is one basic prerequisite. That is the speaker who asks people to love the country should do it first, right? Your behavior needs to conform with what you have said. Otherwise, your speech will not be convincing at all. So if Dong wants to ask other kids to protect the flag, then she better do the same, and she better tell her kid to do the same. However, later that year, people found out that Dong Jing, the famous hostess who taught people to protect the national flag, traveled all the way to the United States, gave birth to her baby boy, which is pretty ironic. I mean, it is okay to have your baby in other country. It's your freedom. No one will judge you. But it is not okay that when you teach other kids to protect the national flag as they are protecting their own lives, but at the same time, you won't even let your own kid to be a Chinese citizen. That is not acceptable, okay? If you plan to deliver your baby boy in the US, then you shouldn't give that speech, right? But if you give that speech, then you better make your kid a Chinese and give the same speech to your kid as well. Once again, what you said need to conform with what you actually do. Otherwise, it just doesn't sound right. Now, these kind of things happen all the time in China. From time to time, we have some influential ones telling people should do a certain thing, A, B, C, but they themselves won't do it, okay? I don't know how we should describe this phenomenon. I guess we can call it hypocrisy, or you can say some people in China just don't believe equality. They think everyone else should follow a certain rule, but somehow they think they are better than everyone else. So they can be exempted from following the same rules that they think everybody else should follow. Now, let me just give you some examples. In the Chinese education system, preventing Western ideology from infiltrating our education system has already become one of the main tasks for all universities across China. So just based on that policy, it is safe to say that we believe that Western ideology is a bad thing, right? It's harmful to our students. Otherwise, why do we need to stop it, right? But guess what? You guys all know each year, hundreds of thousands of parents send their students overseas for education. And those students are not going to our old comer like Cuba, North Korea, Iran, or Vietnam. Most of the students will go to the West, such as United States, Canada, Australia, Europe, etc. And who do you think those parents are? Every Chinese workers? Yes, some of them maybe, but the majority of those parents who are able to afford that expensive tuition are the ones who stand on the top of the social hierarchy, including business owners, professors from the Chinese colleges, managers from national-owned companies, and even government officials, okay? But wait a second, don't we think Western value is harmful? Why those powerful people all send their own kid to the colleges that are filled with Western value? It just doesn't make any sense, right? And they worry that their kid will get intoxicated by the evil Western system. And the interesting part is that after those students graduated from those Western colleges, such as Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and UCLA, when they come back, sometimes they will get more respect than students from an average Chinese college. If you are from MIT, people will be like, "Whoa, good, you are from MIT." No one will be like, "Yo, this guy's from MIT. He must be dangerous because MIT is indoctrinated by those evil Western ideology." So at the end of the day, our policy only prevents poor students from accessing the Western value, because rich kids can always have option to go overseas and have full westernized education. Let me just give you another example. You guys definitely are very familiar with this one. You know, in China, we have a Great Firewall, and most international websites are blocked if you try to access them from mainland China, right? So if you want to use those international services, you have to use a VPN to circumvent the firewall. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that firewall. I think it is not beneficial for the country in the long run, because it isolates us from the rest of the world and prevents us from learning about literally everything happening outside of the country. And it kind of hinders the world from learning about us as well, which created a lot of misunderstanding and hate between the two groups. Anyways, that's not the point of the video. I'm not going to dig too deep about this topic. However, from time to time, you may encounter some of my fellow Chinese or even some foreigners living in China. They think it is necessary to have a Great Firewall in China because it protects us from harmful information, while at the same time they themselves use a damn VPN to circumvent the firewall and put themselves into the risk of encountering dangerous information. Every time someone uses a VPN to come to YouTube and then try to explain why he thinks having a firewall is so necessary, I just couldn't help but ask him, "Okay, yeah, you are right, then why don't you stay inside the firewall? You are worried that the bad information may cause harm to the majority? Then how could you be so sure that you will be fine when you encounter the same bad information? If everyone is like you, using a VPN to connect the outside, then this billion-dollar project will become obsolete, right? It can't protect us anymore." Now, let me just give you guys an analogy to make it more clear. Let's say imaginary country A, okay? So inside country A, people are not allowed to own guns. And there are a certain group of people who support that policy because they think guns are dangerous. Therefore, ordinary people shouldn't access them. However, while they are openly advocating the policy that prohibits people from having a gun, they themselves secretly buy guns from some mysterious shop and carry them every single day. And when people ask them, "Hey, don't you support gun control, but why do you carry a gun yourself?" They're like, "Oh yeah, right, guns are dangerous, but we think we should be fine because unlike ordinary people who are not so smart, we know how to handle them. And we won't shoot anybody, we just want to use gun to protect me and my family." I'm pretty sure everyone would think those people are a little bit hypocritical, right? And the same logic applies to those who want to support Great Firewall. I guess someone in this world just doesn't believe everyone should be equal. They don't think people should have equal access to the information from the outside world. They want most people to follow the rule, but they themselves don't necessarily need to follow the same rule because they think they are better than everybody else. Now, recently, I found it happens in China quite a lot. So yeah, that's basically it. I know this isn't going to be changed anytime soon, but I still want to talk about this issue and share them with every one of you. So let me know, what do you think about people who support the Great Firewall? Do you think it is fine for them to use a VPN and come to the outside world, or you think they should follow the same rule and enjoy the harmony inside the Great Firewall? So yeah, please let me know under the comment section. I think that's pretty much it for this video. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and I will catch you on the next one, alright? Peace.